Hey everybody, it's me, Comic Crack, and I'm filming this now for the third time, and I'm going to try to be less wordy, I promise. 20 minutes is far too long for this video, so here you're looking at the top 10 for 2016 list, which means that I've checked off some more books from this list, but we'll get to those right at the end. Two small comic book pickup piles that I wanted to go through with you and show you what I found from Hidden City Comics. I found some 2000 AD Presents. This is number 5 with Judge Anderson. Judge Anderson is a character that I've heard really good things about, so I'd like to read some more of her stories. So number 5 and number 6. Skiz is also something I've heard great things about as well. And then finally issue number 9 of 2000 AD Presents with Judge Anderson. So that was a pretty great haul. He didn't have very many quality comics that I saw anyway. I'd picked up some previous from the same guy at his new location. I've said it before, but I've really got to go without the kids one day and spend a good 2 hours there. Even since the last time I was there, one of his new additions is probably 15 to 20 long boxes filled with collections, basically, like mini series, etc., priced to move, really. Really cheap stuff, all sorts of indie publishers, Eclipse and Pacific, and various publishers with long runs and short runs. I love that idea of those packs, so I need to go back and just sit down for a couple hours, pull out box at a time, and just make a huge stack. Johnny Zero had mentioned this series to me. We were talking about Brendan McCarthy and our mutual love of Brendan McCarthy, mine which started from when he was doing covers for Shade the Changing Man, the Vertigo series. And, sorry, drinking some water there. We were talking about just various other projects that he's done, and Johnny was telling me about this Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. It's called SpiderMan Fever. It's a 3-issue miniseries, so I was lucky enough to find issue number 1. I just read this the other night, and I loved it. I thought it was great. Brendan McCarthy writes it and draws it, and then Steve Cook is the colorist on it. And I mean, the coloring is fantastic. With McCarthy's stuff, you really do have to have a little more of a psychedelic flair to the coloring. And I mean, check out the Vulture, just grisly, just really great stuff. And then Doctor Strange in all his Doctor Strangeness. And right at the end here, spider type demon. Love it. Really liked the story quite a bit. So yeah, that was great to find the single issue of that. Brendan McCarthy also had something to do with Mad Max Fury Road. I think a designer, as well as some writing, or if not most of the writing. So there you go, Brendan McCarthy expanding his world. P. Craig Russell with, ready for this, Peleus and Melisande. We'll just let that sit in the air for a minute. The classic story of love and death, part 1 of 2. I'm sure I butchered the name and I apologize profusely. Please feel free to correct me and mock me. P. Craig Russell, love P. Craig Russell, love Eclipse Comics. I love P. Craig, I should rephrase that. I love P. Craig Russell's art style. I'm not always crazy about the fantasy type stories. As you know, I'm not a fantasy guy. But it's always worth it to check off some more Eclipse comics from my collection. And this is one I've never seen before, so that was great. And in the category I've never seen before, let me move that to, this was another one I've never come across. John Bolton, Halls of Horror, issue number 1, and John Bolton, Halls of Horror, issue number 2. I believe it was just a 2-issue miniseries. And I think I paid $1 a piece for each of these. So really great. Looks really great. I haven't read these ones yet either, but there's a ad for AXA. Some fine looking art though. So that's pretty exciting. And finally, from Epic Comics, I'm not a fan of X-Men. I'm not a fan of Wolverine. I don't really care too much about the characters. And that's just a reality. I apologize to people like Dr. Monkeybot who are hardcore X-Men fans. It's nothing personal. The stories have never really done much for me. That said, I couldn't pass up this Epic Comics series. Havoc and Wolverine, Meltdown 1, Meltdown 2, and Meltdown 3 by Walter and Louise Simonson, John J. Muth, and Kent Williams. They're in these prestige format, and the art at times really reminds me of Bill Sienkiewicz. Looks great, looks really cool, and I'm actually kind of excited to read it, mostly because of the badass looking art. And I mean, Epic Comics is just a great little offshoot as far as stories that they present. So there we go, there's that. We'll have a look at, I went to Galaxy today to pick up some bags and boards. While I was there, I bought some new issues and a couple of back issues. Out of the new issues, I wanted to try to catch up with The Spire, issue number 6, and The Spire, issue number 7. I believe I've read the first 5, but something tells me in the back of my mind that I've only actually read the first 4. Anyway, these were the only 2 that they had there. They didn't have issue 5, and these ones were in very low supply, so I thought I'd grab them before they were gone. Another one that Jared Osborne had talked about on Twitter with Damien. Issue 2 and 3 of Ted McKeever's Pencilhead. I wasn't aware that this was that McKeever had a new series out until I saw Jared's post about it. And this one is, it says at the bottom, a mostly true 5-issue series about the whacked out world of comic books, and apparently it's about his time in the 90s at the big 2, Marvel and DC, and some pretty outrageous stories of things that happened while he was doing comics back then. So I'm excited to read that. I really, really like McKeever. And then finally, out of the new issues, From Under Mountains number 3 and From Under Mountains number 2. I didn't love the first issue. I liked it enough that I want to give it a chance, and I know that I've heard from people that it's maybe not the best series so far, but I really like the art quite a bit, and yeah, I'd just like to check out some more of it and give it a good shake. And the back issues that I picked up, Johnny Zero had sent me a care package, a random act of kindness, and in it was American Freak, issue 1 of a 5-issue miniseries, and I read that last night and I really enjoyed it quite a bit. There's something about reading these old Vertigo books again that sorry, the phone just went off there. I'm sorry, that totally just threw me off. It was a message. I'm going to ramble a bit here. It was nice to sit down to read an old Vertigo title again. Not only does the art really bring me back to that time period, but even the writing, the style of writing and the way the characters talk, there's something about it that I love. I absolutely love. So I was lucky enough to find for $2 a piece issue number 2 of 5, issue number 3 of 5, and issue number 4 of 5. They didn't have number 5. I'm not too worried about it though. I haven't gone out to specifically look for this yet. I'm sure I'll find it at Red River Bookshop or one of my other haunts, so I'm not too choked about not finding issue 5 for now. So it really re-inspires me to want to pick up more of those old Vertigo titles, and especially miniseries. And thankfully they had issue number 2 and issue number 3 of SpiderMan Fever, quite a couple of dollars more than I was normally willing to pay for these books, but I couldn't pass them up. It's not one that I see all over the place, so that's the good part about going to Galaxy. If there's stuff that's a little harder to find, chances are they're going to have them. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. I can't wait to sit down and read those final issues. And last but certainly not least, for all the Daredevil fans out there, you're looking at this list here because I've managed to check off 4 issues from my Daredevil wants for 2016. Galaxy's got quite a few older back issues kind of behind the counter that you have to ask for and sit and go through and that sort of thing. So I decided to just kind of look through what they had as far as Daredevil went, and I was really surprised. Normally these few books here, when I'm searching through back issues, these are exactly the gaps, and literally these exact books, they'll have every other issue around these, but they won't have these 6 issues. The only one that Galaxy didn't have was issue number 158. They had multiple copies of each of the other ones. And when I say multiple, I mean multiple, like 6 or 7 copies generally of each one, which was also good because they really ranged in condition. For example, the first Elektra appearance, I think they had one that was like priced at $150. Then they had one that was priced at $5, you know, so a really nice range. And you know what we love. We love the super sexy or just sexy grade. Issue 170 for a total of $5. In great shape. Like, all of these are in, I think, pardon me, excuse me, all of these I think are in amazing shape. With my luck of finding Daredevil issues, I think these are in perfectly acceptable. They're all attached. The covers are there. There's no pages missing. The staples are not rusted out. I love it. I think I, as usual, did fairly well and got very lucky. 169 for $8. 161 for $7. Great cover there. Love that. This one is maybe a couple of dollars outside my normal comfort zone, but I couldn't pass it up. Number 160 for $12. Still a good deal as far as I'm concerned, especially to cross off 4 from my list. So that's it. That's all. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and we'll talk to you real soon. If you haven't seen the previous video about the Stamp Club, please go back and watch it and print out a book for yourself or create your own book, and subscribe to everybody that's going to be involved in the project and collect some stamps. Here's a little sneak peek of my newest book that I did for myself, colored in and stained with a tea bag, ready to go, ready to put some stamps in. Joe Ninjello has already posted his video where he shows off his stamp, and some great work by Mr. Joe Ninjello. Captain Cummings, Costin Bromstar, Why Not Art, Sleepy Reader, and La Raza we have this week as well. So that's it. Thanks again for watching. We'll talk to you.